it's Kioi, and today I have with me
Alison Sideshow. Hi guys.
Yes, if you don't know Alison, obviously they're very fabulous, and we are going to be talking about drag because Alison has a lot of experience with that, and I think...
no, I'm a real girl. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm biological woman. Excuse me.
Okay.
Real girl.
Sure. Keep We'll go ahead and start off with, tell us your backstory. How did this come to be? How did you become Alison Sideshow?
Well, I was really high one day, and I thought I was just starting to learn about kind of like what drag was, and I wanted to do it. I was like, this looks like some fun shit. I was really high, and I was like, what if my character was an undead hooker? And then this happened.
Oh.
So my character, short version is, my character is an undead hooker brought back to life by scientific experimentation.
I see.
That's Alison Sideshow.
In every one of your performances or your outfits, are you like, I see you have a bone and you look like kind of like zombie-ish. Like, do you try to incorporate that in everything?
I try to keep a little element of the undead Alison in every performance I do, but there's a lot of times when it calls for a different spin on my own character, so I'll do like a more 50s type of look or a more kawaii type of look. It just all depends on the number. So there are a lot of like different levels to Alison that she can go more one way, more the other. But for the most part, she's the same every time. But there are a lot of drag queens who will have different personas under the same name. I haven't really seen one where it's like one drag queen with like 5 different names. But a lot of drag queens do have different like looks that are under the same character.
Okay. So they don't have to specifically just be one like set style. It's acceptable to do lots of different
Oh yeah,
things.
definitely.
Okay. Interesting. You said it's not very common for people to have multiple characters, like multiple drag queen personas. It's usually just one and they dress up in different styles.
Yeah.
Okay. And how does this work with gender? Like, are you always wanting to be girls? Are you...
One of the great things about drag is that you can use it to blur the lines of gender. Drag's crazy, drag is scary, drag is ugly, drag is cool, drag is pretty. Like, there are so many different types of drag that it's almost stupid to just stay in one spot. Recently I've noticed there's a shit ton of the drag community that's just been so hateful and so just judgmental and just disgusting to me. And I don't understand why, because I joined this community as like a form of expression, and now it's just everyone's being so fucking hateful. I don't like it. It's sad to me. But no, there's a lot of different ways you can do drag. It's not just one set way.
There are drag queens that don't shave as well.
Bearded queens, yeah.
Okay.
That's a big thing.
So...
glitter beards and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
So gender, like, isn't a big issue, really.
Oh no. There are a lot of queens who think you have to be this pretty little perfect... It's called fish. We call it fish. If you're not fishy, people sometimes bag on you for it, but there are a lot of queens who aren't fishy, and that's just the style of drag they do. Fishy is referring to like pretty and perfect and nice and feminine.
Typical.
Yeah, typical like girly girl type of stuff, and obviously that's not what I do because I'm a dead bitch.
Do these bearded queens, do they relate differently to their personas because that is more of like a male thing?
I can't personally speak for a bearded queen because I'm not one, but I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe it's just, again with drag, it's just another form of self-expression. It doesn't matter what you look like.
It's more art than gender.
Oh yeah, it's a huge art form. Some people, the way I look at it is, some people will paint a canvas, we paint our faces.
To go along with multiple personalities and creating your own character, you also do something else.
Well, I do a lot of different things. There's a lot of personas in cosplay too, right?
True.
A lot of people will do certain types of characters in cosplay. And, I mean, I'm a furry as well, so that kind of ties into that. And for those of you who don't know what a furry is, it's a lot like cosplay, in a way. It's a lot like drag, in a way. It's just a character we put on and entertain with. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's fun, and I actually happen to have him right here. This motherfucker. This is Toxic.
He's so cute. He's so cute. I love him.
His eyebrows move too. Thank you, More for Less. Those are the people who made my suit. They're really, really sweet people, and they spend a lot of time.
You can see, like,
this.
the seams on this are flawless. Like, this is art. Like, this is beautiful. I mean, I don't think I could ever make something that good. Even if I tried. Like, the outfits alone are amazing. Like, it's cosplay. Like, cosplay, you work so hard to build this character, to build your cosplay, to build the weapon, to build this. It's just a different thing. You're just building a suit. It's...
And I want to touch on the fact that there's a lot of misconception about furries.
Yeah, so many people in the cosplay community, because I'm in the cosplay community a lot, so many people don't understand.
So, right off the bat, I want to get out of the way. There's sexual things, sexual aspects to every single fandom, every single community you come across. Drag, there's a sexual aspect, because we're kind of dressing up like hookers, let's be honest. Cosplay, there's a huge sexual aspect to it because you see all those girls in the skimpy outfits, and to be quite honest, I've met people who have had sex in cosplay before. Just the same, there's sexual aspects to the furry fandom. And I personally don't fuck in this because it's fucking hot as hell to walk 2 feet around in this. But I know there are some people who do, and that's their prerogative, that's their thing, and I'm not gonna go and bash them for it, but I personally can't see myself doing it. It's just like with fetishes and stuff, like some of you may be into getting tied up, but that's not for everybody. You can't fucking do anything about it.
Yeah, it's like trying to fit a whole community into this one little box. Like not everyone is like that.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna bang in a suit, and not everyone's kid-friendly, and you can't force everybody into this tiny little thing. And labeling a whole community as, like, people who fuck in those is kind of retarded.
I personally... You let me try on your suit, because he brought it over, and I was so excited. I always see pictures, and I've never seen one in person. I'm like, I want to try it. And these are hard to put on, first of all, and I just walked around my living room with the thing on, and it is really warm. Like,
she had the whole suit on, the bodysuit and everything.
It is hot. I cannot imagine doing anything except for just trying to stay alive in those suits.
The biggest part is they make the mouths huge so we can, like, have, like, the water bottles so we don't fucking dehydrate. Yeah. Because I knew somebody who actually had a fucking heat stroke in one of them. Like, they were suiting in 100-degree weather, like a fucking idiot here in California, and they passed out, just fainted.
Yeah.
And they were hypoglycemic too, so I don't understand why they were suiting in the first place and weren't drinking enough water. But that can happen. Like, can you imagine someone fucking in that? Like, no.
No way.
Good luck. Have fun passing out from a heat stroke.
Maybe like at the North Pole.
Yeah, maybe at the North Pole.
Not in any realistic situations. I've only been cosplaying for like, I don't know, 3-4 years. Not very long. And many of you know Anime Expo is a huge convention, and all the cosplayers go to it. And this was actually my first experience with ever seeing a furry. I had never seen one before. I didn't understand, like, anything at all. And I just saw a ton of people in a circle and a furry on the ground, and there was a dog. So they were, like, playing, and I heard a lot of people around me like really upset because it was an actual animal and a furry, and a lot of people think that they do inappropriate things, which is terrifying, and it's not really true at all.
No, not at all. The fact of the matter is, there are so many rumors that go around about the furry fandom because now we're in like such a public eye after the Dr. Phil episode that happened, and fucking CSI and My Strange Addiction, all that shit. And people think we're these, because that's the only public eye we've had, people think, oh, They all must be like that, and I don't know why they think that, because you can't judge a whole group of people just by seeing one of them. But no, I know a shit ton of furries. I've been in this fandom for like 3 or 4 years, about the same time you've been in the cosplay community, and I have never met one furry that has actually ever done something sexual with a dog or an animal of any sort. And I think that's a disgusting rumor that someone could even spread.
That's the first thing that I learned.
That's sad.
That's the first thing that I heard about furries. The first time I saw one is all these people gossiping around me saying things like that.
And that's disgusting, because like all the things that I've learned about the furry fandom, that has only recently come up to me. I've only recently learned that people even think that about us.
Yeah.
And it's sad, because all the times I've gone to conventions and stuff, it's like a huge giant family. Everyone's so caring about each other. Everyone is so like loving. Even like, I know with you've told me before with cosplay, a lot of times, if you're new or if you're not as elaborate, people judge you for it. And I know with the furry fandom, it's a lot less judgmental, more so it's constructive criticism. If you're first starting out making what these are called fursuits, if you're first starting making them, there's a lot of people who will just throw constructive criticism at you and be like, hey, this is amazing, but you should do XYZ to make it even better. Instead of just being like, oh, this is fucking terrible, you should fucking quit, fuck you, you're terrible, da-da-da, which is, sadly, a lot of what happens in the cosplay community from what I've heard.
Yeah. I've seen it a lot. It's really, people need to be more positive, and I love how positive the community is.
Exactly. But no, promise, we don't fuck animals. Cross my heart to Satan, we don't fuck animals. I just may do a little witchcraft here and there. Maybe kill a goat. But that's about it.
Completely unrelated.
Completely unrelated. It's not related to the furry, the drag, the cosplay. I'm just psycho. I'm just crazy. Can't you tell?
For me, I do a lot of cosplay, and I think it would be really fun to do like Five Nights at Freddy's suit, or maybe World of Warcraft, and this seems so daunting to me. I feel like in the cosplay community, everyone is very judgmental. Everything has to be so perfect, and I know if I'm gonna make this, it's not gonna be perfect. Like,
yeah.
Is that okay? Like, stepping into the fursuit community seems it's very foreign to me. Like,
yeah, well, okay, so with fursuit makers, everyone starts out somewhere. The people who made my suit started out just like the same as you. They didn't know what they were doing. They were worried about how people were gonna perceive them, and it's all learning from other people. There are a lot of different makers that you can look at the work of and see like how they do their thing and adapt your own style. And I know like the people who made my suit, More for Less, they do like more of like a toony, cartoony style with like movable eyebrows, as you can see. That's like their thing. Whereas another fursuit maker may do something more realistic looking. And it all just depends on what you want to do, and you got to figure out where you want to start. But no one's going to like. There's gonna be those there's always gonna be those 1 or 2 people who are like, ah, you fucking suck, and you can't avoid that. But the amount of people who are actually going to try and help you and give you constructive criticism is immeasurable. Because for like those 1 or 2 people who are just gonna be assholes, there's about 50 more who are just gonna be like, oh yeah, no, you're doing good for your first suit now, here's XYZ on what you can do to improve it. So everyone's really accepting and really helpful for the most part, yeah.
And you didn't make yours.
No, I did not.
That's not frowned upon, or like...
Oh no, most people buy them. Okay. Most people buy their own suits. No, it's not frowned upon to buy your suit from a maker, because most people do that. Not a lot of us have the resources or the skill to make our own suits, because it is very fucking hard. But I know in the cosplay community, if you're by your cosplay, people are just like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not a real cosplayer, nah. Little do they know I bought my Grow cosplay. I didn't make that at all, fuck that. Oh. And everybody loved it.
What advice do you have to someone going to their first furry convention?
Ignore the creepy motherfuckers. There are creepy motherfuckers at furry conventions. And you just can't give them the time of day. I feel like that's with any convention too. I know you probably get your share of creepers at anime conventions who are just like, yeah, baby. There's some of that at furry conventions too. So my first piece of advice would be ignore them. Find your niche. Don't restrict yourself to any one sort of clique, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, furry convention can be like high school at sometimes. Find your niche, but be open to hanging out with different groups of people, and don't let someone's view of somebody conflict with you hanging out with them if you like them. And don't feed into drama. It's always a good one.
Yes.
Do not feed into the drama.
With any
fandom.
With drag, with cosplay, with everything.
If you feed into it, it makes you feel like shit. And it's not worth it, honestly. You're not gaining anything from it, and it just makes your attitude just go.
Oh. It's way better to build people up than create drama.
Build people up, don't tear people down. Love and light, and all that weird shit. Yeah.
Alright, well thank you so much for teaching me everything.
No problem, thanks for having me.
Of course. If you would like to check out Alison's channel, I will put everything down below. Instagram, everything. So go check that out. Thank you again so much.
No
I hope
problem.
you guys enjoyed it.
And by the way, if you didn't know already, this bitch makes some really awesome phone cases. So if you haven't got one, hit her up. I fucking love mine.
Thank you.
There's a huge sexual cosplay. There's a huge sexual. Fucking Christ, I can't say sexual. Huge sexual. I'm kidding. Oh my god, shut up.